And I thought you were ready to give up.
Welcome back to the Wednesday video. Now today's video was going to be different than what you're watching now. Today's video was going to be hidden meanings behind coincidences, but I wanted to reschedule that video for another week only because this past weekend I went to Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights for my first time ever, and actually has been my first Halloween event that I've been to since 4 years ago. 4 years ago I went to Not Scary Farm. I went through one maze, then I left home because I was too scared. I've always been scared of being scared. I've always been scared of going to these Halloween events only because I always think in my head that these scare actors are either going to kill me or they're going to kidnap me, or I'm just going to faint from being scared too much. But I actually did so good this Sunday when I went to Halloween Horror Nights. I had such a blast. It was so much fun. I had lots of scares, lots of laughs, but I wanted to share my experience with you guys today because so many people have been asking me, how was your first time going? How was Horror Nights this year? Is it worth the money? How are the mazes? Which maze is your favorite? Which maze did you not like? Which scare zones was your favorite? So I wanted to share my experience, and I wanted to give you guys my opinion, and I wanted to give you guys like my advice on Halloween Horror Nights. And yeah, so let's continue on with today's video. Before I talk about my experience at Halloween Horror Nights, I just want to say that I went through all 8 mazes at Halloween Horror Nights, and also there are only 7 mazes that are open during Halloween Horror Nights, but there's only one maze that is open year-round, which is the Walking Dead attraction. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk about the mazes from the order that I went through. So I'm gonna from the first maze that I went in to the second maze to the third, and so on. So here we go. Stranger Things was the first maze I wanted to go in because I know it was gonna be packed because it was the main like attraction of Halloween Horror Nights. So when we went in through it, it was actually a soundstage. So the whole thing was a soundstage, and let me tell you, the sets in the maze were amazing. So if you guys don't know what a soundstage is basically where they build like the big houses for, like, let's say for Friends. Like if they wanted to build the coffee shop inside the soundstage, they could, because the soundstage is huge. So the maze, you can actually expand more and make more of the maze, like extend the maze, make it longer. You can, because the soundstage is huge. So the sets and everything were amazing. It was to the point I recognized everything. I was like, oh, this is the upside down. Oh, this is Castle Buyers. Like I can recognize everything that was in the maze from the season 1, because this maze is based on season 1 only. So the thing I liked about Stranger Things maze was it was in order from each episode. So the first episode from when Will got lost, you just hear you know, everyone from the cops to the brother to the mom from the friends saying Will, you know, you just hear them yelling Will's name, you know, and stuff like that. And then it goes from each episode. Then you go into the house. The house, by the way, was awesome. The lights and everything, like the Ouija board that was on the wall and everything. Also, my favorite part of this maze so far, like the whole thing, like that really made me like get my vote of like, oh, this is an actual cool scene of the maze. When 11 was like killing the Demogorgon with her powers, and she was like, goodbye Mike, and then she was like, you know, trying to, you know, destroy the Demogorgon. Actually one of my favorite parts, and actually I saw it on Instagram a lot from like Universal Studios and stuff like that, and it was actually one I was looking forward to, because you know, you actually get to walk around it and you get to actually like see like the statue and see that, because it was not an actor, it was an actual statue, but the Demogorgon was like an actual scare actor. But 11 was a statue, so you can see, and you can see her face, see, oh, it actually looks like 11. It's not just, you know, like a regular face that you can only see at the back of her side. No, you can actually, it looks like actually Millie Bobby Brown. So that was a very cool touch to the maze. The second maze we went through was Trick or Treat. Now I've seen the movie, only half of it, only because it's boring. Because Trick or Treat, if you guys don't know what the movie, you're not familiar with the movie, it's actually different, like little storylines of during Halloween. But I was familiar what Trick or Treat was. So we went into this maze. It went through the different chapters. So before you walk in, you walk through a dark hallway and you just hear this music, creepy music, and then on the wall, like it had like the letters were glowing, but it had like the name of the chapters that was going through. So it went the principal. The principal was the first one we went through, and actually the reason why I liked the principal side was he was sitting there with the kid, and the kid was actually throwing up. He was actually throwing up real water. When you would look at the bottom on the stairs, it was like actual like goo, like throw up goo, but the kid was throwing up water. but there was no drain on the stairs to like drain the water and then go back into his mouth. No, the water was actually spilling onto the floor that we're walking in, but we didn't know that until we walked to the side of the house. Then we stepped on the rug and it was squishing wet, so we were like, oh, and we all screamed because we're scared, like, oh my god, what's happening? And it was just actual water. It was just like the rug absorbed the water, so when you're stepping on it, it squishes like a SpongeBob noise and stuff like that. And that was like the most disgusting day that we ever experienced in that maze. But this maze trick or treat, the set pieces were awesome as well. It was very cool. Some parts were very dark that I couldn't really pay attention, which was the woods one with the wolf and stuff like that. I didn't really pay attention. But the School Bus Massacre, I feel like they could have done better. I feel like if they wanted to make a good maze out of it, they should have done from before the school bus was gonna, you know, drown, or before the school bus, you know, crashed over the cliff, and then into the next scene where the school bus is in the drowning in the water. I think that would have been a cool touch to the maze, but that's just my critiques of it. But overall, the trick or treat maze was pretty good. I got one good scare. So yeah, overall that maze was pretty good. The third maze we went through was the first Purge. Now I didn't see the first Purge. I don't really care for the Purge movies. I do watch them, but I just don't care for them. I don't find it scary. But when we went through the first Purge, I didn't get like the set pieces. I didn't get what was happening because I didn't watch it. But I felt like the maze could have done better, only because it was more acting than actually scaring. So there's actually people just pretending like they're killing people and people shooting each other. But it wasn't like, they had some scares, but it wasn't like in every room where every room has like a scare actor. No, it was like maybe 3 or 4 rooms that they scared you, but it was mostly you know them showing you killing the person and them shooting and stuff like that. But the neat touch that they did was when you walk in, I think it's like in the middle of the maze, and some guy slicing some girl's throat. But when the guy slices the girl's throat, like water squirts at you, so you're getting wet. You're like, oh crap! Like you think it's actual blood, but it's like the illusion of the blood is going to your face. So that was a cool touch to it. That was the only thing I liked about the maze, was the water effect. But overall, the first Purge maze for me, I didn't really like it. The fourth maze we went through was Poltergeist. Now, I didn't see the 1980s movie of Poltergeist. I only seen the newer version. So it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool not knowing what to expect for this maze, and it was actually kind of cool getting some scares. So this Poltergeist maze was pretty awesome. The sets were awesome, you know, my favorite part of this maze was they had there was like this static screen, and but it was like 2 like fabrics, but like you can open it. So I was walking through this room. There's like a dark hallway, but like a static screen, looks like you're looking into a TV. But when you get closer to it, a hand pops out from the middle of the TV. Scares you and stuff like that. So that was a neat touch to that. Also the set pieces were awesome. You know, there was actually like little it was like walking food was on the counter and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. Like there was this one room where a girl's room was like possessed, and you could just see the bed moving. The picture frames were like swirling on the side of you. But I guess it was a distraction because then a clown pops up from under the bed, and like loud music starts playing, like a loud sound effect starts like to go and stuff like that. So you get scared and you're like jumping. That made me jump a lot because I was like, oh shit, don't touch me. I thought it was an actual character, so I thought it was gonna touch me, but it was an animatronic coming up from under the bed. So that was a neat touch to it as well. Also, one thing I did like was after that scare about the clown, you see this big animatronic skeleton yeti type of thing, and it's like right there like just dancing and stuff like that. Pretty cool thing. I really like that one. But overall, the Poltergeist did give me a lot of good scares. I do want to see Poltergeist, the 1980 movie, because I only seen the newer version. But overall, Poltergeist was pretty good. The fifth maze we went through was Horrors of Blumhouse. Now, Horrors of Blumhouse this year was themed 3 movies. It was Truth or Dare, Unfriended, and The Girl, which I only seen 2 movies, which is Truth or Dare and Unfriended. I've never seen The Girl before, but this maze was not my favorite. I didn't like it. I didn't really get scared. I don't think Truth or Dare should be have a maze. I just, Truth or Dare wasn't scary. It was just like, oh, okay, you know, if you don't do the Truth or Dare, you're gonna die. It's not like scary where, you know, it's like a serial killer trying to get you. No, it wasn't like that. Unfriended, it was more you seeing the person getting possessed and doing the things that the ghost was telling you to do. But there was like one scare actor trying to scare you, which was like, I guess, the possessed main character from the movie Unfriended, if you guys haven't watched it. The girl one, it's just, I've never seen the movie. I've never seen that one, so I didn't get it. yeah, basically this whole maze was a mess. I just didn't like it. I thought maybe it was a little rushed because each movie only had like 2 rooms that would go through, you know, the movie whole thing. So it was not my favorite. I didn't like it. For this one, they mostly had like the dark hallways and then the actor scares you. But they have that in all the mazes, but they mostly had like the dark hallways for this specific maze, and I didn't really like it. I thought that they could have put more. They could have put more in the sets. They could have put more of like the scare actors and stuff like that. So that also goes into the category of the first Purge. It was not my favorite. The 6th maze we went through was the Terror Tram. Now the Terror Tram is Hollywood Harry themed, which is a clown, but it's not really clown themed. It's basically Hollywood Harry and his other friends that he invites overnight to Universal Studios, and it's like, first part is like you go through this bulldog masks with chainsaws, and so they're chasing you when you're walking through like the first part of like Whoville, and then when you cross to Bates Motel, it's more of like a cannibal thing where you just see pig masks on everyone, pig masks on like the mannequins and stuff like that. There are some scare actors. This part was like mostly acting for the cannibal, like acting like they were like eating like the skin and stuff like that. It wasn't really people scaring you. There was like 2 or 3 actors, you know, following you, but they weren't really scaring you. And then you walk through one maze which is called Scarecrow's Revenge, and Scarecrow's Revenge was pretty cool. That was my favorite part of the Terror Tram because there's like these huge walls that are on the side of you, and like these scare actors pop up from the side and they like put the weapons right in front of your face, and I'm gonna show you a video right now and you can hear me say, oh crap, oh shoot, like you can hear me. So here's that video.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, fuck!
After that maze, you go through the airplane crash that you see when you go through the regular Universal Tram, where they show you the background and everything. The airplane crash, that part they had clowns. So that part was like mainly clowns. So they had clowns, different clowns, cheerleading clowns. They had clowns that were in like police suits. They had clowns with chainsaws. They had clowns with axes and stuff like that. And that was pretty cool because they would just, you know, get next to you, but they wouldn't really scare you. If you were like laughing and stuff, they'll be like this, like trying to like be all cool and like distract and try to scare you, but it didn't really scare me. After that part, you go through another maze which is called Nightmares, and Nightmares is more like of a asylum theme, not really asylum, but like a prison theme, because there's like these gates that then they scare you, they pop their head out and stuff like that. I forgot that maze actually. That wasn't really a good maze. It was like really dark in there, so you couldn't really see. But that concludes the Terror Tram. Now overall, my opinion on the Terror Tram, the first part I liked, because the first part, when you get off the tram, there's Hollywood Harry right there, the clown, and he's holding balloons and a knife, and you walk towards him, and then there's like the speaker that says, and now, or something like that, and then that's when everyone, you know, starts to go run or something from the scare actors, because then he goes like that in front of everyone. And you know, my favorite part of the Terror Tram was that one, and also the beginning when you walk through these bulldogs, like masked people with the chainsaws, they were revving at your feet like vroom, 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 and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. But overall, it wasn't very good. I thought, my thing is, since it's a Terror Tram, it's in the back lot, you could do more. Universal, you could do more with it. You can add more scare actors. I don't know, but that's just my opinion. I feel like it could have been more scarier. I feel like instead of having more space for you to walk, have a break to the other mazes, have scare actors that are scaring you while you're going through the mazes, so you can have non-stop scares. I think that would be a better idea. Maybe I should work for Universal actually. But yeah, overall Terror Tram, I'll probably give it about a 6 out of 10. Sorry, I said the Terror Tram was a maze. It's actually not a maze. I looked at the map. It's just a Terror Tram, just like a scaring. So so that does not count as a number. What was it, number 5, number 6? It does not count as a number. That was just the way I went. The actual sixth maze we went through was Universal Classic Monsters. Now, let me tell you, this one was actually my favorite maze when we went through so far, because it was very cool. When you first walk in, it's like the Frankenstein just comes at you, and like because you're not even in the maze yet, you're still outside, and like you haven't even walked in yet, so the Frankenstein comes at you. That was a cool thing. My favorite part about this maze, me and one of my family members got scared on this part, was the part where you go through a very dark hallway, but you're scavenging through bodies like that. Instead of having like those long strips of like the fabric to like move into another maze, you're scavenging through like hanging bodies, but like mannequin bodies. And when you're doing that, I guess it's like a distraction for that, so that when you are distracted by moving the bodies, a Frankenstein comes out on the side of you like, oh crap, but it's really dark so you couldn't really see. So me and one of my family members, we got scared, and she was holding me, and I was like, I'm behind you, let's go. We just ran through the next, basically that maze we're running through the Universal Monsters. The seventh maze was The Walking Dead. Now, The Walking Dead attraction I've been through already, so I already know what was gonna happen. And I'm gonna say, just to save you time, do not go through The Walking Dead. It's the same thing as year-round maze. Supposedly they hype it up, but no, it was the same thing over again. So I'm just like, oh, this maze was okay. Yeah, just if you want to go through it, but for me to save you time to go through other mazes, don't go through The Walking Dead if you've already been through it. If you haven't been through it, you should try it. That's just my opinion, because I don't really care for The Walking Dead, but it was the same thing as you would go in the daytime. The eighth and final maze was Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Don't even get me started on this maze. Like, I love the Halloween franchise movies, but living in like the actual like movie, him scaring you in actual real life is terrifying. The most terrifying thing I've ever experienced in my whole life. Like, he scares the crap out of me. Like, this maze, I'm gonna tell you, was my all-time favorite. When we went through it, I was like, no, this is my top #1 favorite maze right now. And the reason why is because they did so good with this maze, with the scaring. Okay, I don't really care about the sets, I care about the scaring. You scare me good enough to make it top 1, and this was that maze. He comes out of everywhere. Michael Myers comes out of everywhere. Like, he literally comes out from each side. Sometimes they come out of the same side, so like they're like double whamming you, and you're like, what the hell, and you get scared. I was basically running through that maze. I didn't even care to look at the sets. I was too busy like trying to like looking back, looking at the side to see if Michael Myers was gonna get me and stuff like that. But it was super cool. I really liked it. It was the most terrifying maze for me. Scared the crap out of me. Other mazes, and they're okay. This one scared the hell out of me, I'm telling you guys. So this is actually in the beginning when you walk into Universal Studios. It's by Waterworld. So if you want to do that maze first, I say do it, because that's the most funnest maze. Or if you want to save that for the ending of the night, do it, because that would be the best way to end the night. And that was the best way that ended my night, because I got super scared. It was the most scariest thing for me, I'm telling you guys. Before I end today's video, I just want to give my top scariest maze all the way to the least scariest maze. So I'm going to name all 8 mazes in order from scariest to least, in my opinion. If you guys go, or if you guys do go, you guys might have different opinions. You guys might say like the Horrors of Blumhouse was the scariest for you, or this house was scarier for you, but this is in my opinion. So yeah, here we go. The top scariest was Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, of course. He comes at all the different sides. Living in a Halloween movie is the most scariest thing that I can never experience. So that was one of my favorite mazes, and also one of the scariest that I've experienced. The second scariest maze for me was the Universal Classic Monsters, and what won that vote was actually the dead bodies. You know, you had to scavenge through the bodies, and then Frankenstein comes at you, and you didn't know, so you're like, oh crap, so you just stay shocked in the middle of the maze and stuff like that. So that would won second place. The third one that scared me was Stranger Things, because when you're inside the woods or inside the Upside Down, sometimes it gets really dark, and like the Demogorgon, he kind of blends in with the trees and stuff, because you're like, okay, what's gonna happen next? You're just looking at the actors, you know, acting out, like finding Will or doing this and that, and one of the Demogorgons came out and scared the crap out of me, and I was like, oh crap, and like he actually went into my face. So that was like, as being the first maze that I went through, that actually scared the crap out of me. The fourth maze that scared me was actually Poltergeist, and the one thing that scared me, well, two things that scared me on the Poltergeist was the hand coming out of the TV, and also the clown coming out from the bed. I jumped like hell. Like I was like, oh crap, like I was like jolting back, joking to the side. I was running through the other hall. Like that one scared the crap out of me. The fifth maze that scared me was Trick or Treat. Now Trick or Treat had some pretty good scares, but the scares were before that I even went through, because I already know like, okay, so this person got that scare, I'm gonna get that scare too, but I'm not gonna get scared because I already know he's gonna come out. But there's this one scare, because one of the groups that was in front of us, they went super fast. Like they were like running or like fast walking through the maze, so like they didn't even get the scare. Sometimes the scare actors don't even come out on time. Like when the music would like go around and the strobe lights, they don't even come out on time. So when I got one of the scares, and that one scared me. I was like, oh crap, I didn't even expect it, because I thought it was like a dark hallway and with nothing. So until you go to the next one, then they scare you. But no, that one scared me. The sixth maze that scared me was the first purge. Now the first purge, what got me was the water spraying at you. Because I actually did scare me because I didn't expect it. I was like, oh crap, what the hell? And I got scared. So I kind of looked back and he squirted me again. I was like, oh crap, what the hell? And you can tell that he was gonna squirt you because on the side there's like this pump that he was pumping, and I guess it's for like the water into like the little string. And that one scared me. The seventh maze that scared me was Blumhouse of Horrors. Not really didn't scare me, but you know that has to be in the bottom because it wasn't scary. But the last place for eighth maze was The Walking Dead. I didn't like The Walking Dead. I felt like they could have done better. I felt like they could have even put more zombies like chasing you at the end, but they didn't want to do it. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want more videos like this, make sure you guys video a big thumbs up or comment down below any other videos you want to film. Maybe I'll think Suresh actually filming them. But thank you guys so much. My next Halloween event that I will be going to is Not Scary Farm. Now I will be vlogging it if my vlog camera gets fixed on time, because my dad dropped it, and he was trying to be like me, like trying to vlog, but he dropped it, and like the little part of the screen cracked. He broke a little something on the back of the screen, so it doesn't work. But if anything, I'll probably vlog on my phone when I do go to Not Scary Farm. If not, then I won't do another video like this because I think this is probably boring for you guys. But I just want to share my Halloween Horror Nights experience with you guys. My first time going. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't really liked to be, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the post notifications so you know every time I upload a video on every Wednesday. And yes, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday.